Peace, and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of the Black Survivor Die series, broadcasting live every Warrior Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by the host and founder, the National Minister of Defense of the Black Riders Liberation Party, under the leadership and auspices of our five-star General Taco Wolverine Shakur, and the National Deputy Field Marshal, New Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, under the auspices and leadership of General National Chairwoman Crystal Muhammad. I speak of none other of our Solidarity brother, who has been in this sojourn for the liberation and salvation of the African nation for over 30 years. And indiscriminate to betrayal, indiscriminate to denial, indiscriminate to the the backstabbing and the assassination attempts, this warrior continues to stand true for us, even in often times where the very people that this warrior has stood for has been the one to try to jig him with the knife. I speak of none other than my warrior comrade and our George Jackson, the George Jackson to this Jonathan Jackson, Mr. King Samir Shabazz. So I've been given the task to give y'all a few minutes of work before we get into tonight's class. So y'all just call me Bishop Chicken Wing in the interim. So we're gonna read from this book of Sappho from my Jinga, our living ancestor, Dr. Wally K. Bomani Baruti, a warrior's guide to manhood. And I said manhood. We're on today, and today is the understanding month on the knowledge day, all being born to wisdom in the wisdom cipher year. So we're dealing with this degree of, have you not heard that your word shall be bond, regardless to whom or what? And when we look at that degree, we have a question and we have an answer. Yes, my word is bond, and bond is life. And I would give my life before my word should fail. Now, we're talking about a warrior's guide to manhood. This is a Sappho. This is a warrior developmental process. And many of us who have undergone this warrior process in the developmental stages, we understand that we started off in a state of chaos, in a state of disarray, in a state of disillusion, in a state of grandizement. We're on the knowledge day. So this knowledge degree that you're talking about, we're looking at how we started these things, all being born to wisdom. This knowledge degree. Have you, this is the identifier, have you not heard? That means someone had to hearken or speak these words to you, whether they were physically, whether they were mentally, whether they were emotionally, whether they were psychologically. You had to hearken to these words, this universal law, this universal principle. Have you not heard that your word shall be bond? Meaning you will be in a state of accountability by that which you speak from your mouth. Wisdom is wise words and wise ways in action. This is how the two become one. They become unified. Wisdom is your wise words and wise ways and actions. So the evidence, have you not heard that your word shall be bond? Bond, bond. And the bond is considered the essence of how two come together and become one. This is the bond. This is the obligation. This is your by the same bond as how you shall be adjudicated. You see the wisdom in the question and the wisdom in the answer. You see how it's wise words and wise ways and actions in the question and in the answer. So we're dealing with this on this knowledge day. Have you not heard that your word shall be bond, regardless to whom or what? Meaning that nothing or no one, once you have given that word and that bond, you have brought those two together. Nothing or no one is supposed to be able to allow what you said out of your mouth to not be made manifest. Black power is an action. Black power is the action, and so is peace. So if you hear me say peace and black power, that's an action. That's a requirement. That's a bond. I have to make that manifest. It says when Allah decides on a matter, all he says is be, and it is. So when you're talking about wise words and wise ways and actions, we see this manifest in these particular characteristics. What you say and what you do must be congruent. This is how you make your word bond. We said that we would be here, and we have been here for the last 5 years, making our word bond, indiscriminate to anything or anyone, regardless to whom or what. No matter what has befallen us, we have been here. We have been here, and we will continue to be here every Warrior Wednesday until we are no longer here. And in this space, some other warrior will have to take up the task to continue to make this bond because African liberation and the decimation of our enemies, foreign or domestic, has to be done regardless to whom or what, because we gave our word and our word is bond. So now he says, yes, this is an acknowledgement that you heard this before. This is an acknowledgement that you live a particular lifestyle. Yes, my possessive now. My word, not your word. My word is bond. My word is bond. My word is that manifestation. Because born is to bring it into existence either physically or mentally. So this is bond. This bond is life. Yes, my word is bond, and bond is life. And this is your state of accountability as a warrior. And I would give my life before my word should fail. But we give our word and we say, word, yo, Lord, yo, word is bond. You say, word is bond, and then you lie in the next fucking state. This is how we are able to play these games in regards to polarities because we're not dealing with definitive. We're dealing with optional. Manhood and warriorhood for the African male is not fucking optional. There's no place where you can go and take what you think that makes you a man and say, I'm no longer a man. This is this optional shit that we have succumbed to, and we are advocating for this fucking devil in all of their disgusting ways and actions. For the African man, for the African woman, and for the African child, there are no options. It's not optional. We deal in definitive. So we keep our word bond because word is bond and bond is life. We deal from a space of life affirming. Life affirming. anything that does not add to African life, to the African man, woman, and child, does not fucking apply. So we find ourselves in these situations reacting to some of this foolishness, and some of these suckers is running around with bleeding hearts with people that'll blow your motherfucking brains out and won't think twice. Understand that we're dealing in a state of preparedness. Understand that we're dealing in a space of readiness. And if you are ready, if you're dealing in readiness, if you're dealing in preparedness, you are always prepared. Honorable George Lester Jackson said that the soldier, the counter-terrorist, knows that the distance between him and his enemy is a quick shot, a quick draw, clear shot. What that mean? You know, we used to say shit like ain't nothing between us but space and opportunity. That's what we know. That's what we understand. This is what we know, this is what we apply, and this is how we come about our understanding. And if we are serious about our liberation, there can be no other motherfucking option. So, brothers and sisters, it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some and present to others the host and founder of this epic series, this thought provoking, transformative, warrior orientation class. National Minister of Defense of the Black Riders Liberation Party, National Deputy Field Marshal of the New Black Panther Party for Self Defense, our George Lester Jackson for this day and time. And one of the only true cubs of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad on the planet, my brother and warrior comrade, Minister King Samir Shabazz. Black Power.
BB Tuhodier. Power, black power, black power. Welcome to the Survive or Die class. The choice is yours. And before we even get started, I clearly remember stating in January that Survive or Die was going to a completely new level. And I know some of y'all thought that, we was just running our mouth, running off at the lips once again, right? Well, let me tell you, Survive or Die Inc. has gone to a completely new level. So I hope and pray, in fact, I know y'all have been going to survivaldieinc.com to get your survival gear in any form or fashion you could possibly think. I covered some things even on a psychological level, just to give you some kind of sanity, whether you're bugging in or you're bugging out, and got more stuff coming. So what I'm saying to you is there's no goddamn excuse. There's no excuse on why you cannot get prepared or are not prepared. So welcome to Survive or Die class, and it's a great honor, seriously. And I'm loving the fact that the visual is giving so much more strength to the class. You dig? I was supposed to be out in the field today, but I got some very, very serious news. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of made me change up my whole strategy for the night. And sometimes you really need to pay attention to what's going on inside of you, to what's being said inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So I did the knowledge, and boom, I'm bugging in tonight. You dig? So very well prepared. But it's a few things I want to talk about, and a few things I would like to show. Um, I want to talk a little bit about Che Guevara and his ideology on survival. Um, I know this coronavirus has got everybody freaking out, but the name of the topic of tonight's class, if you're prepared, there's no need to fear. If you're prepared, there's no need to fear. You dig? So you just get more prepared. Strengthen up where you might be weak at. You might be strong. You might got 4 or 5 bug out bags, but you got nothing to bug in with. Because you've been so focused on, boom, your bug out bag, your bug out, bug out. That's cool, but you also have to take into consideration, what if you can't get out? Because it's going to come to a point, god damn, you ain't even going to be able to come out the house. Because martial law is in effect. You might not have heard Trump declare it yet as a national emergency. Oh, but it's coming, buddy. Because now all the states are declaring emergencies, state of emergencies. Schools are being shut down. Hospitals are being filled up. Health centers, free health clinics are being filled up. Food is running out. Toilet paper is done up. See? But we've been telling y'all. And y'all just think King Samir is crazy. Yeah, that motherfucker is crazy. Fearless, but that nigga crazy. Well, I ain't so crazy after all, am I, fool? I told y'all Donald Trump is coming with some shit. Before his election, didn't I tell you? Did a whole class on that crap. But y'all continuously wait on the improper propaganda. See? As I always talk about, the proper propaganda and the improper propaganda. You continuously fall for it. So, for those who are sitting around thinking this shit is just a hoax. Okay. I tell you what. You keep sitting around. Just keep sitting there. For those who think this is a conspiracy theory, just some what's the word I'm looking for? Diversion. That's peace. Very true. But this is a very serious damn diversion. But see, here's the thing. I know what's coming behind this. So, from the words of Che Guevara on basically how the warriors, the guerrillas, the black guerrillas, should move and the type of equipment type of equipment. That's very important. So before we do that, before we do that, right? This is the mask of the warriors. This mask speaks volumes for me. And when I saw it, it just, and it actually fits my face perfectly. So I just wanted to show y'all the mask real quick. But let's go over here because I want to show y'all some things. Now, let me sit down on the floor here. All right. So, comrades, what you are looking at, this is my 115-liter bug out bag. Hydration bladder. I mean, it's so much to this bag. It's just crazy, right? So you have a pocket compartment, entire compartment here for your sleeping bag. But I have my sleep system and my tarp and cooking equipment in here, right? Boom. Because I didn't put the sleeping bag in yet for a very specific reason, because I left it out for a very good reason. So you have a pocket here with tie down cord for your hatchets or your trekking poles. Man, so many things you could use it for. And buckles here, buckles down here, more tie downs down here, a whole pocket here completely. You can unpop that, buckle here, boom, and under there's my medical and my hygiene stuff. Under, yeah, that's right under the top pocket, y'all. Dope, right? So then you have the outside pocket here in the tie downs. You can zip that down, and this is all the tools is at, and cordage and all that good stuff. And you open this, and then you can pull this out real quick. Pull that out, and then you open this part up. Boom, completely waterproof, right? And that's where all my goodies is at, all my gear. So it has extra compartments. It has a side compartment here, which goes into the second compartment, and then over on this side it has another side compartment which goes into the main compartment. Two pouches on this side, two water pouches down at the bottom on each side. Now let's look at the back. All right, so the back of the bag has a grip handle, very strong, durable handle, you know what I'm saying, which is very important while you're trying to carry your bag. So here is a system where you can actually lower the whole back according to your height and adjust it as many different ways as you want. Very, very comfortable cushioning and the straps, you know what I'm saying? D-rings, I got my carabiners hooked up. Now here is the bottom, your lumbar cushioning, very thick, very comfortable, and the straps here for your waist strap sewn in so they don't come off, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't want to use it, you can just tuck it inside a little pocket here on each side, you dig? So I added Molly, a Go Next Molly water pouch, hold two little bottles of water inside. So I added that to the waist strap. So as you can see, it's very, very huge. You know what I'm saying? And it has a little straw, so I can put a little straw inside the water bottle, keep on rolling, whatever. Along with my hydration bladder and water all over my bag. So that's my bug out bag. Not going to go through all of the contents in my bag, but for the most part, get you a good durable bag, right? Now, this little very lightweight, doesn't take up much room. I didn't put it in its compression sack. I actually took it out, but the compression will bring it about right to here. So this is my one to two man A-frame tent. You know what I'm saying? Very lightweight. These are the type of things you need in your bug out bag. I can stick this right down here in this compartment or latch it up top, connect it at the very bottom. Now, this is my hammock. Now, why did I pull this out? This is my Free Soldier hammock. Very durable. Y'all check the video I did on that. Now, this is my summer bag, sleeping bag, right? And I'm going to pull this out because I want to show y'all if you out in the cold or, you know what I'm saying, you rolling around in abandoned areas. And hold on, because I want to do this one up too. I want to show y'all how to add extra warmth and heat to yourselves in a few different ways, right? Which is very important. So this is my winter setup here. It's my winter system, right? Very light, but show you what I've done or what I'm gonna do to give you a basic idea on how to set your stuff up. Right? So if you out in the woods, in the field, so I'm gonna pull this one right on out. Okay. All right. Boom. Now I'm gonna pull this out, stretch this out. Now I'm gonna show you what I have in here. All right, so I have lightweight but very insulated lightweight bag. So this is basically my sleep system, right? For the most part. So what I decided to do was take my summer bag, pull this out, all right, there we go. Okay, so, and by the way, we do have these bags and these for sale on survivordieinc.com. So what you could do, comrades, you take this bag, the envelope bag, right? Very insulated and it's actually a summer bag, summer fall bag. So take that and now stuff this one right inside of here. Boom. Here you go. So now that's your winter sleep system right there. There you go. And I'm going to tell you, you will probably have to come out of this thing at night. Trust and believe what I tell you. I've done it with other bags. You dig? Not this particular setup. I had a thicker, much thicker mummy bag. And I took a lighter military bag and my military issue extreme cold weather bag, the big tank. So I put those two inside a tank, and man, I did not want to come out. And I'm talking, it was like 5 degrees outside, y'all. You dig? So you could take this and do it just like that, comrades. Or I'm gonna tell you another way. You could add an emergency blanket on the inside, or you can wrap your emergency bivy sleeping bag. They have emergency blanket bivy sleeping bags and just stuff it. You know what I'm saying? I've done videos on that normally, so I decided not to use my bivy, the emergency bivy anymore. So this is the new sleep system I'm rolling with right here. So if you have the availability, man, you could get both of these for about $60 plus shipping. You know what I'm saying? But you'll be good throughout the winter, throughout the cold, and you could break it down. You could add a bivy sleeping bag to the top of this, and that'll do you extra justice. You dig? So I'm showing you this equipment for a very, very, very important reason. Che Guevara said that a hammock is of most importance. So I got into getting hammocks and different hammock systems. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things that you can do with the hammock. And the hammock that I just showed you in the brown sack, man, that's not just a hammock, but for those who know about the Free Soldier hammock system, it can also be used as a tent and a bivy cover for your sleeping system. You dig? So on those extra cold nights when you don't feel like setting up your hammock and you just want to pop that tarp up, you could use your hammock as your bivy to cover, you know what I'm saying, your whole body, and man, you'll be good to go. Now, can you do that with any hammock? No, you cannot. Most hammocks and hammock systems, you're gonna have to get an underquilt, but underquilts are pretty expensive. But guess what? We got some for you at survivordieinc.com. Make sure you check it out. So if you want to try out the hammocks, and you know you're gonna have to get some kind of insulation for the inside to block that air that will take the heat away from you at night, and you will be very cold and very uncomfortable. So you could use a mover's blanket, you could use a yoga pad, a sleeping pad. I use my sleeping pad. And I actually, even though the Free Soldier is very, very durable and warm, I lay my ground mat down, my Rasta ground mat, double that up, put that inside my hammock, stretch that out, put my sleeping pad down, boom. Now just that blocks the air itself. So now with the sleeping system on top of that and your bivy, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? So you might wake up a little wet, but you know, you should know how to deal with that throughout the night as well. So a hammock, comrades, is very important because there's so many uses for it. You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to pitch a tent. You dig? You might not be able to pitch a tent. You might be on a terrain, you might be on a hill where it's nothing but just fucked up terrain. You know what I'm saying? Impossible for you to set up a tent. This is where your hammock come in. All you need is 2 trees. And if you do it right, you might not even need 2 trees. You could use 2 good strong sticks. You dig? Or logs. But just different things. So let's get into some Che Guevara. He said, what is the life of the guerrilla fighter like? His normal life is like the long hike. He said, let us take an example of a mountain gorilla located in the wooded regions under constant harassment by the enemy. In these conditions, the guerrilla band moves during daylight hours without eating in order to change its position. So when night arrives, camp is set up in a clearing near a water supply according to a routine, each group assembling order to eat in common, and at dusk the fires are lighted with whatever is at hand. The guerrilla fighter eats when he can and everything that he can. Sometimes fabulous feasts disappear in the gullet of the combatant. At other times, he fasts for 2 or 3 days without suffering any diminution in his capacity for work. His house will be the open sky between it, and his hammock he places as a sheet of waterproof nylon, and beneath the cloth and hammock he places his knapsack, his gun and ammunition, which are the treasures of the guerrilla fighter. Mm. You got to pay attention to what's being said. So, at times, it is not wise for shoes to be removed because of the possibility of a surprise attack by the enemy. Shoes are another of his precious treasures. So, whoever has a pair of them has security of a happy existence within the limits of the prevailing circumstances. Thus, the guerrilla fighter will live for days without approaching any inhabited place, avoiding all contact, staying the fuck off Facebook, Instagram, and all this crazy shit on the internet, avoiding all contact that has not been previously arranged, staying in the wildest zones, knowing hunger, at times thirst, cold, heat, sweating during the continuous marches, letting the sweat dry on his body and adding it to the new sweat without any possibility of regular cleanliness, although this also depends somewhat upon the individual disposition. Now, during the recent war in entering the village, following a march of 16 kilometers, a fight of 2 hours and 45 minutes in a hot sun, and without several days have passed in very adverse conditions along the sea with the intense heat from a boiling sun. Our bodies gave off a peculiar and offensive odor that repelled anyone who came near. In other words, they were stank as hell. Okay, our noses were completely habituated to this type of life, and the hammocks of the guerrilla fighters are known for their characteristic individual odor. In such conditions, breaking camp ought to be done rapidly, leaving no traces behind, comrades. Vigilance must be extreme. For every 10 men sleeping out there, there ought to be one or two, I'm going to say at least three, at different points of, your instructions. One or two men on watch, with the sentinels being changed continuously and a sharp vigil being maintained over all entrances to your circumference. Campaign life teaches several tricks for preparing meals, some to help speed their preparation, others to add seasoning with little things found in the forest, but still others for inventing new dishes that gave a more varied character to the guerrilla menu. So I'm going to suggest start learning primitive survival and bushcrafting. You got to know how to build stuff, man. Sometimes all you need is some paracord, 550 grade or higher, and some rope. And you can build a shelter with just some paracord and some damn logs. I've done it. Paracord, tree bark, logs, sticks, twigs, and bushes. And you will walk right past my shelter right in the woods. You will walk right past it. It looks just like one little great big bush. But when I pull two logs out, that's the entrance, and I just crawl right back, crawl up in it. And I got enough room to sleep and all of that.
Can I, pardon, self, Lord, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, God.
I just wanted to add noise, light, discipline, and also how far you can be detected from your position. Everybody smokes. Uh, we was in opposing force training, and one of the things that we learned was how to follow a smell.
Mm.
I was reported from Vietnam that them Vietnam warriors did not even have to open their eyes to find the American position because their asses was smoking in the nighttime. The light you can see from a half a mile away. The smell from up to 2 miles away. All you had to do was follow your nose.
Toucan.
So now that other aspect that you talked about being in the bush and on the move, you know, brothers, that's one thing. Sisters, that's a whole nother thing. You see what I'm saying? So you might have the best position in the world. You got that a coca, you got the, you there, you got everything set up, you ready, you got a permanent fixture, and you got a haste you fixture set up. They might not smell you, but they'll smell your woman. Not only will that woman attract people, but also wildlife. You understand what I'm saying? So, these are all things that you have to take into account when you're looking at wherever your respective area. I don't care if it's for 2 hours, I don't care if it's for 2 minutes, or it might be for 2 weeks. These are things that you have to look at daily. when and when I said a coca, I said I'm talking about uh, observation, covering concealment. You're talking about you're talking about key terrain, and you're talking about avenues of approach. So when you put this all together, this is an acronym for listening, observation, all of these things that you take into key factors in regards to how you go to and from your position, where you are. And these are same factors that you use when bugging in. So when you're looking at your house, how many entrances, how many possible entrances, all of that. How can your position be approached and from what angle? All of that. You see what I'm saying? So again, these other factors again for noise and light discipline too. So can you see in the nighttime, or are you prepared and don't lose your goddamn mind when the lights go out? You understand what I'm saying? And how long can you last? Are you prepared? Are you sitting in a dark room? Are you prepared? You understand what I'm saying? Like, can you uh, can you survive your own self before anything or anyone comes to get you? You know. So I just wanted to add that since we were looking at the terrain, and it was just so reminiscent of so many dismounted patrols in forward areas. You see what I'm saying? Versus riding, you see a whole bunch of shit walking that you miss when you're riding. So you get a chance to respond to it or react to it. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to add that from your position, looking at your position, it should be some kind of battle drill that you implement to see how far and what that range is out there and what's going on to your position from your egress and from your enemies being able to get to your position. You should see them long before they're able to see you. And if you know that by going around your position and seeing every angle, King Samir told you know your goddamn geography. You understand what I'm saying? Because the GPS ain't gonna fucking help you out there. You got to know your geography. You got to do your terrain walks and see what's going on. You got to be able to know if something has changed in your environment. Because you hit me with that joint. You was like, yo, Jay, I knew somebody had been there. But if you just fucking hunky dory, walking around thinking, okay, I'm just out here camping, if something is taken away or something is added extra, or if there's been a breach, you're supposed to immediately know what's going on. That's how you're supposed to know your terrain. So I just wanted to add that real quick, Lord.
Sir. So that leads into the science, which is of great importance, navigation. Navigation. It's crazy because I find a lot of people don't even know how to read a very simple map. They'll be on the train and they got just little stupid maps of, all the points where the train goes. And yo, it just amazes me how people just be so dumb. Can't read a simple damn map. Yo, y'all need to stop fucking around. Hell, even on some of these video games, you dig? It's like everything is coming with some kind of mapping source. So y'all need to learn how to read a map. Learn how to read a compass. Learn. It's crazy because when you ask somebody where's Northwest such and such, they don't know what the hell you talking about. See, all they know is North Philly, South Philly, West Philly. Just it's crazy. Your terrain is your battleground. That's your ground. Who should know your ground better than you? It should be traps every damn where for the enemy. Why am I teaching guerrilla warfare tonight and talking about equipment and hammocks and tarps and bug out bags and winterizing your sleep system to give you a more comfortable sleep? Because all of that plays a very big part in your survival. You tossing and turning and tossing and turning, and it affects you after a while. Because psychologically, you're not comfortable. You may be happy you might be out in the woods, but you're not comfortable. You might still be a little afraid. So you psychologically searching for noises that don't even exist out there. So every little weep and peep insect you hear, you jumping all damn night, scared to death. Scared to death. I'm gonna tell y'all. One night, this was about 2014. I was out in the woods by myself, and I set up camp and everything. Boom, boom. So I decided I'm gonna take it down early. So about 1:00 in the morning. So I took it down about 8, 9, something roundabout. So about 1:30, I'm hearing this noise, y'all. That word is bond. I have never, ever in my life, not from a damn skunk. I mean, I heard deer gasping for air. I've heard all kinds of sounds. You dig? This sound literally woke me up out my sleep. And I had to grab what I had to grab. You dig what I'm saying? At that time. And sat up. I didn't open the tent door to see what it was, like a damn fool. I stayed inside the tent, but I sat up for hours just sitting there. And it sounded like it was coming closer and closer. So I just tightened up, you dig? Because I'm like, whatever's going to come, it's going to come and it's going to get it. But I'm not going to be a peckerwood like they do in the movies. Open up the damn tent. Hello? Who's there? Fuck you, dumbass. No, not me. Black folks don't do that. See, if anything, we be ready to get the hell up out of Dodge. Good night, y'all can have these goddamn woods. You did? But panic, fear didn't set in. I had to quickly think. and remain calm and make sure I wasn't making no noise that would attract to whatever was out there. You dig? So I had to calm my breathing down and sit very still. I mean, still, not a crinkle from the feet or on the tent. Nothing. Didn't move at all. Just sat completely still, closed my eyes, and just felt the vibe. Just tuned in with the noise and just keeping myself calm, because I know this thing come up here, I'm gonna do some damage. But it's a psychological training. See, you can't have fear out here. Fear will get your ass killed, man. So if you're in fear, it's only because you ain't prepared. You scared to fight somebody only because you don't know how to fight. See? Y'all running around just panicking. Ain't no toilet paper. Ain't no paper towels. Ain't no face masks. All this shit, you worried about the wrong shit. Because you ain't prepared. You just following the go along to fucking get along. You don't even know why you're preparing. All you know is coronavirus and don't know a damn thing beyond that. Nothing. Why? Because your slave ass is sitting around just being programmed all fucking day. So now you running around with goddamn conspiracy theories. Dumbass, it ain't nothing to conspire about. It's killing folks. Entire countries are being shut down, fool. Countries. 16,000 crackers stuck in Italy. Praise be to Allah. But in your fear, there's also a fall. See? Because while they got you so worried about Corona, guess what? Dow Jones is crumbling. Uh-oh. Dow Jones is falling, Every day it's sunk to an all-time low now, which means the stock market is, which means the fucking American dollar is, but here you are, still chasing the fucking fall of America. You chasing. America is falling and you chasing, begging it not to fall. Oh boy, let's get back to a little bit of shade, shall we? Now, the battle climax of the guerrilla life is sought at an opportune moment, either when an enemy encampment sufficiently weak to be annihilated has been located and investigated, or when enemy columns advancing directly toward the territory occupied by the liberating force. The two cases are different. Why am I talking about guerrilla warfare? Because martial law is here. And if we say we are the fucking vanguards of our people, then it is us who have to defend our hoods, defend our communities, defend the black nation. You can't fucking wait on the Federal Emergency Management Agency. You can't wait on the red floss, the red farce. You can't wait on no goddamn body for your survival, man. Nobody. And don't let nobody stop you from your survival. People want to call you crazy, let them fucking call you crazy. Guess what? Their ass is going to be starving. Because you've been listening to this class. And I want to thank all of you, man, who've been joining the King Samir Black Survival Group and really learning. You know what I'm saying? And man, that's what we bought it for. You know, so I'm humbly honored for y'all coming in the group and really, you know, starting to participate a lot more. I've been gone for a few times, back and forth, quite long times actually, but I'm back on my A game. I'm back on my A game because my survival is mandatory. Mandatory. My queen's survival is mandatory. Our baby's survival is mandatory. My family's survival is mandatory. My comrade's survival is mandatory. So to all of you, I don't give a motherfuck what formation you are in. Listen what I'm about to tell you right now. If you are not holding survival classes, you're a fucking waste of time. If you are not teaching and training our people how to store their food, how to disinfect their water, how to fucking survive, man, you're wasting your fucking time. Don't come at me with all this, oh, what the original Black Panther Party did. Oh, well, let me let you in on a little secret. They created survival programs. Oh, yes, they did. Geronimo Pratt had a weekly military training. So don't talk to me about what they did and didn't fucking do. I know the history, fool. I lived this life. So please spare me the bullshit excuses. You should be holding goddamn survival classes, man. Because our people, our elders especially, are going to need it. And as I told y'all, unfortunately, they're going to be some of the first to die. The elderly. Your nana, your papa. Done up. So, against an encampment, the action will be a thin encirclement and fundamentally will become a hunt for the members of the columns that become to break for the encirclement. An entrenched enemy is never favorite prey of the guerrilla fighter, for he prefers his enemy to be on the move, nervous and not knowing the ground, fearful of everything, and without natural protections for defense. Whoever is behind a parapet of powerful firearms for repelling an offensive will never be in the plight. However, his bad situation as of a long column that is attacked suddenly in 2 or 3 places and cut. If the attackers are not able to encircle the column and totally destroy it, they will retire prior to any counteraction. Now, the facility of which the guerrilla fighter can perform his function and adapt himself to the environment will depend upon his equipment. Even though joined with others in small groups, he has individual characteristics. He should have in his knapsack, besides his regular shelter and everything necessary to survive in case he finds himself alone for some time. But in giving the list of equipment, we will refer essentially to what should be carried by an individual going in the rough country at the beginning of when the shit hits the fan, with frequent rainfall, cold weather, harshment or harassment by the enemy. In other words, we place ourselves in a situation that existed in the beginning of our liberationary struggle. So again, surviveordieinc.com, we got everything you need. Everything you need. Starting from your bug out bag down to your damn dental floss, down to your tobacco pipe, where you can just sit back and just have a little sanity of life. Deck of cards, play some spades, niggas. You know how we do, man. So, the equipment, soldiers, is very important. The equipment of the guerrilla fighter is divided into essential and accessory. Among the first is a hammock. Among the first is a hammock. They're very lightweight. You need to start using them. Tarps, hammocks, you know, these big beautiful tents and glamping tents. Oh, they're wonderful. But we're talking survival here. We're talking about being on the move every single day, because you don't know how long you're going to be able to be at a specific location. Just to have some shelter and build a small little fire just to boil a can of soup or something. Man. And you can't leave no trace. See? Taking charge of your post in all Black Nation property in view. General order number 1. To walk my post in a perfect manner, keeping always on the alert. Discipline, comrades. Among the first is a hammock. This provides adequate rest. It is easy to find 2 trees which it can be strung up very quickly, and in cases where one sleeps on the ground, it can serve as a mattress. Whether it is raining on the ground or is wet, a frequent occurrence in tropical mountain zones or in southern zones, a hammock is indispensable for sleeping. A piece of waterproof nylon cloth of its complement. Now, it should be large enough for you to, from head to toe, and for the most part, you don't sleep in a hammock in a banana shape. You dig? So you want to make sure that when you're setting up your hammock, that you're pulling it tight enough so at least it's flat. You know what I'm saying? Or you might just want to have a little sag in it, but you don't want it like a damn banana. Okay? That's not how you sleep or set up your hammock. So yes, millions of people have been fucking doing it wrong. Yes. Now, once you're inside your hammock, depending on how your hammock is made, okay, you sleep on a diagonal in your hammock, because that spreads your hammock out now and it flattens out your body. But we're gonna get into hammock setups and how to do that. I might actually do that this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Just a straight up hammock class. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 or 3 different types of hammocks. I think I might just do that. We'll see. I'll keep y'all posted. You dig? So a blanket is indispensable. A wool blanket. You know, they're making some good. You get you a good fleece blanket. You know what I'm saying? And a bivy sack. Man, you're good to go. You know, also necessary to carry garments such as a coat or jacket that will enable you to bear the extreme changes of temperature. It may be very hot during the day, but your ass just might freeze below 32 below at night. Trust and believe. And yo, I've been in areas where it's like that. and they let me know ahead of time. Listen, it's hot as all hell during the day, but you will freeze at night. I mean, freeze at night. So you got to make sure your gear is up to par to where you're ready for those climate changes. You did? So since the guerrilla fighter carries his house basically in his knapsack, all of the latter, is very, very important. The most primitive types can be made from any kind of sack carrying by two ropes or a canvas. I can show you how to make a sack out of duct tape. Just simple as duct tape. To make a little strap sack and all of that, man. So these are the types of things that we need to learn, comrade. Because these are the types of things that is going to help save your life, the very smallest of things. You know what I'm saying? I want a big ass tent, 8, 9 bedroom tent type style too. Yes, but guess what? We're talking survival here. So I need gear that I can just shove in my bag and get the fuck up out of Dodge. You dig? So that's just a few things. Cooking utensils, medical kit, very, very important. Make sure you have plenty of hand sanitizer, gloves, rubber gloves, medical gloves, stuff like that, peroxide, alcohol. Very, very, very important. Yes, toilet paper is important, but how much shitting you really think you're going to be doing? Let's just be honest, okay? So you worried about shitting more than cleaning up your home, refining and disinfecting your home. Balance. Balance. Everybody's running out buying toilet paper. Toilet paper don't stop coronavirus. I'm just saying. You did? But you should have been doing this shit anyway. So let me give you a quick analysis, because this coronavirus is not an epidemic, it's a pandemic. And a pandemic is an epidemic of infectious diseases spread through human population across a large region, such as a continent or even worldwide. I'm going to read that again for you. A pandemic is an epidemic of infectious diseases that is spread through white human population. Y'all heard what the fuck I said. White human population across a large region, such as a continent or even worldwide. Infectious diseases are caused by the presence of pathogenic microbial agents, including viruses, bacteria, white people, fungi, protozoa, multicellular parasites, more white people, and aberrant proteins known as prions. Now, most of these are qualified as contagious diseases and called communicable diseases due to their potential of transmission from one person or species to another. The coronavirus does not need a host to produce itself or reproduce itself, which makes this even more goddamn deadly. Because this little fucker can sit without a host for about 3 weeks to a month. Wow. Interesting, isn't it? So, throughout history, there have been a number of pandemics, such as the bubonic plague, smallpox, and tuberculosis, i.e., European diseases, which mostly affected Europeans. Historically, pandemics occur about every 10 to 40 years, so it is likely that everyone will experience a pandemic at least once in their lifetime. There are two types of pathogenic agents that are the cause of most epidemics: bacterial and viral. Epidemic diseases caused by pathogenic bacterial include typhoid, tuberculosis, bubonic plague, and cholera. The primary medical treatment used to combat bacterial infections are antibiotics. Epidemic diseases caused by pathogenic viruses, including smallpox, mumps, measles, and a host of influenza-type diseases, such as the Spanish flu, chicken flu, yellow fever, swine flu, avian flu, and now the coronavirus. Primary medical treatments used to combat viruses are vaccines. Not for me, buddy. So, these diseases are spread from person to person through coughing or sneezing or eating groceries, y'all know, by touching infected surfaces, or through contamination of food or water, hanging around a bunch of damn crackers all day thinking you white, you know, going to their events, just being a nigga. Most healthy adults can pass the disease to someone else before even knowing they are sick. Now, since we became infectious one day before symptoms develop and up to 5 days after becoming sick. So, if you have any forewarning of impending pandemic, increase your bug-in storage for the minimum of 3 days worth of food to 3 months worth of food and water. This will help you to reduce your public exposure time by not having to go out shopping in case local stores run out of food. Also, build up your medical kit, strengthen up your medical kit in the event you have to treat sick family members at home, because the hospitals will be completely overwhelmed and your asses will be done up. Black power.